Hello, everyone, and welcome to another trade wrap video here on the channel. Day 6 of the AFL trade period was technically the 5th day, but free agency started last Friday. And today being Friday means the free agency period is now over. But we still have the AFL trade period to go till next Wednesday night. Now, don't know the official time, but last year the trade period started at like 2:30 p.m. on the Wednesday and finished at 7:30 p.m. So it could be a big extravaganza show. My plan is to show a daily trade out video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday still. And Wednesday night's one will be like recapping that day only. Then the day after, I'll do a full club by club trade recap the Thursday, most likely, or the Friday. So that'll be the plan for that week. Monday, Tuesday video, same Wednesday as well. And then Thursday, a full club by club grading out of 10, all that type of stuff on the Thursday or Friday, but most likely the Thursday. Now, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I want to aim for 15, 20 likes for this video. I really appreciate the support in these trade wrap videos. No one does it better than me. It's plain and simple. But anyway, let's get into the trades and non-trades today, shall we? So, Brody Myercheck has officially joined the Demons. Ben Ainsworth has joined Carlton. Corey Durdin out of nowhere has joined the Power. Gold Coast got a pick involved for Ben Ainsworth in that 3-club trade. Campbell Chess has joined the Blues. And Jai Simpkin, the asking price from North is outrageous. And Geelong have been rejected and know how much of karma is at Geelong being unrealistic and getting rejected. Doesn't feel so good now, does it? You screw teams over year in and year out. You screwed the Bulldogs over with Bailey Smith. You screwed Gold Coast over with Jack Bowes with that salary dump crap where you got pick 7 for getting Jack Bowes in. Yeah, we see all your dirty tactics, Geelong. And now when the good tactics by the Saints and Carlton have been thrown your way about Marshall and Curnow, you ain't liking it, and you still offer nothing. Dodoro and Essendon was difficult to deal with. Well, Geelong, you are the worst to deal with. And how's it feel that you can't get your players because you won't pay up? You say how good and talented Rowe is, and you got him to commit to you. You got Charlie Curnow, who's basically told you the same, and you can't front up for it. So I don't want to hear this talk about St Kilda and Leah. I don't want to hear about that. What about Wade Dirksen in Melbourne? They did the same thing, and people are very quiet on that one. I mentioned that yesterday, so I'm not going to go through that again. You can watch yesterday's reaction video from Mike Leah, thoughts on St Kilda and how that transpired. But Brody Myercheck is officially a pie, as you can see on the screen. Now, again, the internet is a bit dodgy, so, or the footage is, like, it's freezing a little bit. So until that works, I'll keep it with this for now. But yeah, Brody Myercheck has officially joined the Demons. Bit of a, really nothing picks. Brody Myercheck and pick 71 head to Melbourne, and Collingwood get 61 and Melbourne's future third rounder in 2026. Look, obviously Melbourne win the trade, but it could have gone through as a free agency, but they didn't want to dilute their compo for Charlie Spargo. Yet reports yesterday were saying they were going to do it as a free agency move, which would have been dumb because they would have lost their end of second round that they got for Spargo for Myercheck. So smarter move from the Demons to do it this way, because if they did it the other way, then they would have called them out for how embarrassing it would be, like I said yesterday. Now, so that's that one. Now, in a 3-club trade that came out of nowhere, involving Ben Ainsworth, Corey Durdin, and draft picks with Gold Coast. So Carlton, Port, and Gold Coast were involved in a 3-team trade where Carlton received Ben Ainsworth and pick 67. Really good. For Carlton, they got Ben Ainsworth and pick 67 for a future second. So they got Ben Ainsworth at a value of a second rounder. And considering his contract had 3 years to go, Gold Coast playing tough with Humphrey, I would have thought they would have played tougher with this. Clearly, they got other things in mind with Petrarca and everything like that, so they don't want to drag it out. So Carlton got a bit of a bargain here. Ben Ainsworth, he could be a solid player. I mean, I don't think he'll ever be an A grader, like a top 5 player in the comp or anything like that in his position or anything like that. But he's a solid hand. A second rounder, a future second, if Carlton would have finished, let's say, 8th, they're going to be about 32 or something. And he's probably better than 32. So Carlton did really well on this 3-club trade. Now, for Adelaide, they got Carlton's future second and Corey Durdin, and they lost pick 29. So the Corey Durdin side of things just came out of nowhere. Small forward, they delisted Jed McEntee. He's going to do nothing different than just replace Jed McEntee in the squad as a small forward option. They couldn't get Jesse Motlop, so this is their other player, and that's Corey Durdin. Look, he's okay at Carlton, but nothing special. Was in and out a lot. So it is what it is. But yeah, they had to deal with Corey Durdin. In terms of the trade itself, though, I think they did pretty well because they got a future second out of Carlton along with Durdin for losing 29. And 29 this year will be like 36. If Carlton finish bottom 4 range, like bottom 10, that pick will be about 30 at the latest. That's not factoring in academy bids. So it'll be about the same as this year's, if not about 7 or 10 spots better if Carlton finish in a similar position. So, I mean, they've done all right out of it, but Corey Durdin, really? Do they really need to do that? The trade itself, they win. And Gold Coast got screwed in this. They got pick 29 for Ben Ainsworth, and that's all they got. And they gave up Ainsworth. So, 29 for Ben Ainsworth having 3 years left on a contract, played regularly. It's like Gold Coast just wanted to get him out there so they can look at further trades with Petrarca and that. Fiorini's not done yet. That'll be done on Monday or Tuesday. So it's like a bit interesting to see because Essendon want next year picks to be involved and Gold Coast want this year's pick involved for their academy players. So, yeah, it's an interesting one how this goes, to be honest, for Fiorini. Like how they'll come to a resolution there. But, it is what it is. So that's that 3-club trade. A bit of a surprise there, to be honest. So that's that. Then Campbell Chesser, not long after, literally minutes after, has officially joined the Blues from the Eagles, and West Coast get pick 41. Campbell Chesser was a former first-round draft pick. It is what it is. Been injured a lot, form-related. He's good in the last 4 or 8 weeks of the year. Had some really big games as an Eagle. Probably was just finding his straps again after being out injured a lot and form and everything like that. Pick 41 is probably around the mark. He's a former first-round draft pick and it was only about 3 or 4 years ago. West Coast cut their losses. They wanted to keep him. They gave him a 2-year offer. He didn't take it. Chose Carlton's one. So, it is what it is. They couldn't do much about it. Now, James Rowbottom has been linked to Carlton if Charlie Kerner is to join the Swans. Now, Will Hayward's also been mentioned, Ollie Florent. More likely to me is if if Charlie Kerner joins the Swans, there's a good chance you see James Rowbottom / Will Hayward join the Blues. Maybe definitely one of them, maybe both with pick 8 or whatever Sydney have this year. Could be something like that. It could be future seconds. It could be a whole range of pick swaps. Or it could be just one player. Personally, if I was Sydney, I would not let Will Hayward go. If I'm Carlton, I'd want Will Hayward. James Rowbottom's a good midfielder, but I would rather Will Hayward. So that's just me. I think Carlton would need both. If they had to pick, I would be prioritising Will Hayward. Will Hayward has opened up in the past, so they'd be happy to go to Carlton if that's what Sydney wanted him to do. He's got a contract, but so is Rowbottom. BT is his nephew, and BT's saying that Rowbottom could be going, so we'll listen to BT because that's his nephew. So you add that all in, I think Curnow will go to Sydney. And this leads to this next bit. Geelong offered ridiculous offer. This year's first-round pick, 19, and a future first in the future after that first. Ridiculous. Geelong are completely and utterly delusional. Andrew Mackie is completely delusional, just like Stephen Wells was, and everyone at the Geelong Football Club is delusional. Charlie Curnow is a contracted gun key forward in his prime. Pick 19, which ended up being 25. A future first is a finish top 4 will be at minimum, at best for Geelong, 14. And with academies in the next year, that might be 20. And the year after that, same scenario. So you really think, Geelong, that 25 late first / early second for the next 2 years after that, so 3 picks in the 20s essentially is going to cut it? You are completely and utterly delusional. And of course, it was rejected and they haven't offered anything else. And Geelong reckons getting a bit too hard now. Like with the Rowan Marshall, they said they offered 19. That's not enough, Andrew Mackie. He's a contracted player, a gun ruck. You desperately need a ruck. You pay up or you get nothing. Doesn't feel so great now, does it? When trades aren't going your way now. We still got 3 days left of the trade period. It could happen. You committed to the play. You're running your mouth about St Kilda and Lekalia. At least we're giving him notice. Charlie Curno's not going to know till the last second, it seems. So who's being dodgy? Not Saints. You, Geelong. You can't deliver on what you promised both players. If Sydney will get him, most likely Charlie Curnow, and it'd be great to see if he goes to Sydney, because then Joe's on Geelong. And if Rose stays at St Kilda, according to what Sam Edmund's saying, and Saints won't let him go, Sam Edmund, you got your career on the line, mate. You want to hope you're right. Otherwise, people aren't going to take you seriously anymore, mate. I hope you're right. I really do, Sam Edmund. Hope you're right. Because he says that Rowan Marshall, will be staying at the Saints. Great news. Come on. And I'll leave you with this one. North Melbourne want 2 first rounders for Jai Simpkin. His contract will be getting. He's on $1 million. Collingwood are going to pay them. If Collingwood are going to pay the good portion of that money, if not all of it, Ruse, they ain't giving you 2 first. And you ain't getting 2 first, period. So, I mean, it's delusional season from some clubs. Yeah, it is what it is. But good on him. If Jai Simpkin goes to the Pies, it could be a good, solid get, but I wouldn't be paying that, and they're not going to. They can pay his salary, apparently, according to Xander Maguire. So, interesting. We'll have to wait and see. There's Bailey Humphrey. Gold Coast adamantly say Craig Cameron and co. He is not going anywhere. But I wouldn't rule that one out. And if he does leave, is it Collingwood? Is it Hawthorn? Do they go away from Jai Simpkin? And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting how the rest of this trade period goes. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it around. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. I aim for 15 to 20 likes this video. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Go Saints.